Hey, what's up soldiers? My name is GregFPS and welcome back to another video here today on my channel. My internet is out at my house, so I'm going to be uploading this video from somewhere, probably McDonald's or Starbucks or I don't even know where. But anyways guys, the Call of Duty Zombies comic came out today, baby, and I'm going to be reading it for you guys. I'm going to show some pictures where I can. Some of them I won't be able to show you guys. I'm pretty sure that like it's not cool to basically like show all the pictures of the comic in a video. That I know like Milo did that and stuff, but he has like ties with, you know, Treyarch and Activision and all them, so I'm not really quite on that level. So I'm just going to be reading it. I'll show a few pictures here and there, and yeah, without further ado guys, let's get into the Call of Duty Zombies comics. So as you guys know, the story is by Jason Blundell and Craig Houston, and the guy who actually did the cover is by Simon Beasley. I'm pretty sure he did some artwork for some of the DLCs in Black Ops 3. So it's narrated by Richtofen, and we're going to start that off right now. So it says, as the scourge of the undead spread across every corner of existence, many worlds, many souls were lost, broken, or forgotten. Many, but not all. Sometimes I think about the pain that I have caused, the suffering I inflicted on those around me, in pursuit of my own selfish agendas. It really makes me quite nostalgic. Ah, Russman, so many secrets, so many layers, like an onion. Dear old Stuhlinger, blessed with the gift of my voice inside his head. Marlton, the engineer know-it-all. Misty, the girl who will ensure this endeavor is a resounding success. My name is Edward Richtofen, and I've been trying so very hard to do the right thing. You guys may remember that from the Richtofen, the Memories trailer that we heard or saw during this year's Black Ops 3. And as he says that, he just gets completely blown off. His head just goes kaboom. And then Misty says 274. Come on, you have to be a little impressed. And then off the screen we hear Marlton saying, does maintaining proper radio silence mean anything to you? You know, if you got 274 headshots in a row, I'd be impressed. That's what Misty said. And then Marlton says, Misty! And then Misty says, yeah, radio silence. So if you didn't know by now, we're talking about the Transit crew, guys. These are the four main characters that we saw in Transit, on Buried, on Die Rise, and obviously Transit. And we're basically going to be following them throughout this story. I don't know if it's going to be like this for every comic, but we'll have to wait and see. So then Misty says, nothing, useless maggot farm, actives, and then Marlton says, the area was clear of many reanimate activity. Yeah, well, no it isn't. That's what Missy says. This is going to send my record straight to hell. So, basically there's like zombies attacking her everywhere. It looks pretty awesome, pretty exciting. So let's go on to the next page. We see another picture of a bunch of zombies, and then their heads all get blown off right there, which is pretty cool. It says, not that I don't appreciate the light show, but more help would be great. So it looks like there's a quad rotor, and I think Marlton's the one controlling it. You can kind of see it right there, which is pretty cool. I fully understand the severity of the situation. So that's what Marlton says. And he says, I am endeavoring to optimize conditions. The route is open. So he's controlling this quad rotor thing that we see. And then Misty, barges in through the door and says, okay, so that sucked. You know, it'd be great. Drones with guns. So then Marlton says, the aerodynamic considerations in modifying commercial drones we have scavenged are not inconsiderable, and I'd prefer the Chow Hounds outside to the rest of this conversation. They were coming out of sewers and... what's that? Movement patterns are anomalously for reanimate activity. I will repurpose one of the audio visuals to... shit. Well, heck. Ain't he a sight for sore eyes? Russman doesn't need this crap. Russman does need some damn grub, though. And then he basically is in the shadows. You can kind of see him. And he backs up because there's a zombie that goes by and it's like, moan. And Still got it. And then Russman doesn't remember coming this way. Of course, Russman's memory isn't what it used to be. Maybe he can't remember. So, as you guys remember, Russman is an older guy. He doesn't really remember everything. And then he says, any rotting creeps want to eat an old man? He said, yeah, well, you ain't gonna get any of that sneaky sneak bullcrap past me. So he walks inside and there's like a pile of food as well. And it says it's a 4-course dinner for Russman tonight. So basically it shows some like food right there. Nothing crazy, like sweet testine, beans, canned fruit, Doritos, looks like. So then he says, well, and then a bunch of zombies come in and he says, dinner for someone anyway. So then we go on to the next page and we see Stuhlinger grab him and he says, I got him, okay? And then Russman says, Stu? Yeah, Stuhlinger to the rescue again. Just follow me. So basically they're following each other. They're running through different things. You're probably going to want to not step on that, by the way. So there's a claymore there. It's really hard to see with the glare and everything. But basically there's a claymore on the ground. And he says, yes, I know that is dangerous. Okay, so now the claymore explodes, and Russman and Stuhlinger are right there, and Russman says, Russman is getting too old for this, and then Stuhlinger says, you were too old for this 30 years ago, are you okay? And then Russman says, I ain't, but I'm not any more hurt than usual. So they're still running, they're going upstairs now. Yes, I am well aware that the noise is going to drown more of the meat munchers, but you were not offering any better suggestions. You still talking to that friend in your head, huh? No, I just like to have animated conversations with no one. Okay. No other exits this way. Russman's hips don't care much for climbing. So basically they're stuck like on a rooftop right there, as you can see. And it says, well, good news, because we definitely won't be climbing down because there's a zombie up top of that building, and they're both right there. And then Russman says, yeah, we ain't going up. And then there's a zombie that jumps down, grabs Stuhlinger, and Russman's kind of just chilling there. That's pretty crazy, not gonna lie. Pretty cool artwork right there. And he says, son of a bitch. Basically he's falling down. Oof. Oh god, now I'm hungry again. Wonderful. So basically he just like literally destroyed the zombie in midair, which is pretty cool. And the zombie literally lands like in front of a bunch of other zombies. Now would be a great time for some sort of plan, voice in my head. And then like Russman jumps down and starts wrecking zombies. Russman suggests less talking and more zombie killing. Okay, so basically Russman jumps down into a dumpster and finds a gun there, and he's like, and then Stuhlinger says, did you have that the whole time? And then Russman just says, fell on it in the dumpster. It's amazing what's just lying around. And then Stuhlinger says, right, yeah, amazing. We need to get where we're not drawing them to us. So then basically Russman's just like shooting them up with, it looks like a shotgun of some sort. And Stuhlinger looks like he has a Cuda, kind of. And basically they're just running away from zombies right there. And the artwork is actually really cool, really good. I really like looking at all the artwork. So then it says, Russman would have preferred to die with a beautiful woman. And then then Stuhlinger says, not right. We're not supposed to die here. And then Russman says, I think the chompers disagree. And then Stuhlinger says, keep shooting. Gonna, but there's a lot more of them than there are. Bullets, see? And basically it looks like they ran out of ammo. So Stuhlinger smacks the zombie in the head. And he says, I did what you told me to do. That wasn't the deal. We had a deal. So basically he's talking to Richtofen in his head. So as you can see there, he just smacks him with the Cuda looking gun. That's a really cool picture. And then Russman says, Russman hopes you choke on it, rot breath. Something will happen. This isn't how I die. I don't die. I always come back. Russman is taking you with him. So basically, they just destroy a bunch of zombies, it looks like. Russman literally choked a freaking zombie and it bled out through its eyes and stuff, which is pretty gory. So we're back to Misty and Marlton. Look like you boys could use a hand. And then Stuhlinger said, then Marlton says, I'm going to attempt to navigate the reanimates to an alternate location by use of this drone. And then Stuhlinger says, aha, I told you. And then Russman says, we ain't out of this yet, Stu. And then looks like Marlton says, this strategy is successful, but I don't believe we have a temporal surplus. And then Misty says, you heard the man, run. So basically they need to run. And then it says, Marlton says, egress would be advised. And then Misty says, oh, come on, I got one more to hit 300. So basically she wants to get like 500 headshots, I guess. As you can see here, this is that whole picture. So now we're going over to here where Misty is looking through a sniper scope. And you can see this Nazi dude. You can see him on the bottom as well through the sniper scope. She says, I think I found my candidate. And then Russman says, Russman can't keep this such much longer. And Stuhlinger says, well, I'm not carrying you. So then we go to the top of the roof where Misty and Marlton are, and Marlton drops some sort of like ladder rope. You can kind of see it right there. It's really hard to show everything going on, but Misty says, you know, Marlton, you have to be a little more joy in your work. You have to put a little more joy in your work. And then Marlton says, this is not an efficient use of resources. So there is this like crazy Nazi dude just chilling there. So basically Misty shot and the zombie dude, like Nazi guy, dodged the bullet, and Misty says, WTF, it's impossible. So as they're like running, and Russman's like, you hear that? And Stuhlinger says, I hear all kinds of things, run. So basically they're climbing up the ladder. They're gonna be like evading and meeting up with the other two characters. And they climb to the top, and Misty is saying, get them up here. We can't talk about magic bullet dodging zombies right now. So basically they get to the top, and Stuhlinger says, thanks for the hand, darling. And then Marlton says, I would prefer another sobriquet. I don't really know what that word says. And then Stuhlinger says, I would prefer to understand a damn thing you say. Yeah, because I have no idea what that means either. So then they're on the roof, as you can see. They're on the roof. They both climbed up. And then Misty says, it's lucky you ended up right outside our bunker. And then Russman says, yeah. And then Stuhlinger, or actually Marlton, says, you think this was something other than chance? And then Stuhlinger says, this was the plan. I told you there was always a plan. So he's talking about the voice inside his head. And they're still climbing to get to the top of the roof. Misty said, if this was a plan, it was a bad one. And then Stuhlinger says, I didn't say it was a good plan. So then we go to like where like on the roof, and we have Marlton there, and he says, I need to get the countermeasures activated. The reanimates are displaying a pattern of unusual behavior. And Russman says, if that means the meat sacks seem to have gone a lot whole smarter, then Russman agrees. So basically they're running up this building now, and Misty says, that zombie dodged my shot. Zombies don't dodge. Stuhlinger says, my friend says this is the next evolution. And then we have Marlton say, has your friend told you what is coming next? And Marlton just says, or Stuhlinger just says, we're needed. And then we go to a window, it looks like, and Marlton says, the unusual number of reanimates acting in a coordinated fashion are overwhelming our defense parameter. And then Misty says, what is he? And then it looks like Russman says, in charge. So you can see this, like, you know, zombie dude right there. next to my finger right there. He looks like he's in charge or controlling the zombies. And then we have Stoolinger say, "This is not what we're supposed to be. We have a destiny. We don't have to live this way." So then there's like a high voltage trap, it looks like, right at the door that they basically set off. And then Misty says, "We're not going to live at all for much longer if they breach those doors." And then Stoolinger says, "All we need to do is collect some items for my friend, and we can leave all this. But it was to be all of us." Basically, they're going through, as you can see here, the zombies are breaching doors and things like that. And then Stoolinger says, "You need to trust me." And then Misty says, "Yeah, no. Russman doesn't feel like trusting you would be a great idea." And then Marlton says, "I am inclined to agree with the others here." So basically it's showing all 4 characters. They all have guns. And basically they're going to be leaving. And we have another picture of a zombie right there. Pretty insane with all the guts out and stuff. And it's actually almost over. So as you can see, we have like the leader guy right here. He has a swastika on his arm right here. And all the characters are basically shooting their guns. And Misty says, "Less talk, more rock." So basically a bunch of zombies' heads get blown off. And then Marlton says, "That is coordinated, self-directed behavior." And then Russman says, "I need to reload." Misty says, "That's not fair." And we also have Stoolinger say, "I told you, we can't stay here." Then Stoolinger is talking to himself and he says, "I did what you want. I got us together. You're going to have to meet me halfway here. A little freaking help." And then basically there's a portal of some sorts, as you can see. And it says, then Stoolinger says, "Finally." And then Marlton says, "That is futurious." And then Russman says, "You're going to need to thank your friend for Russman." And then Misty says, if we can go now, we should, because," and then there's a bunch of zombies. "Here they come." And then Marlton says, "All of us or none of us." So then they jump through the portal, it looks like. Or it's not really a portal, actually. It's just a underpass, I guess it looks like. But it's really weird because it's like all lit up blue. And it looks like it's some sort of portal. But then again, it's just like an underpass. And then Marlton says, "Someday you will have to explain how this works." And Misty says, "Here we go again." And Russman says, "Russman is willing to roll the dice." So then it says, "Here we go." They all go into this like blue lighted area. There is the boss zombie I was talking about. This is a crazy picture of that boss zombie as well. And then last but not least, we see an expanded loading screen of the Nuketown loading screen. So we actually see these 2 people over here. And I believe they're Group 935 scientists because we don't usually see them. I'm pretty sure that's what they were supposed to be. And that's basically the whole comic, guys. So I know it was really hard to understand. I recommend you guys picking it up for yourself, just because I don't want to like infringe on copyright and mess anything up and show you guys all the pictures as much as I would like to. It would have been much better in a live stream, but like I said, my internet's out. So sorry for the kind of long video and kind of hard to show you guys everything, but hope you did enjoy. My name is GregFPS, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out.